Hey, help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also hit that like button to subscribe if you want more Cavs-focused content.
This was the kind of performance that you want to see out the Cavs almost every time they step on the floor. Look, as I'm recording this video, there's still 2 minutes left in this game. The Cavs are up like 30. Tyrese Proctor is smacking 3 after 3. Things are going really, really good for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game versus the Washington Wizards. Now, remember, this is a NBA Cup game, so the point differential does matter. The Cavs did not win their first NBA Cup game versus the Raptors. They had a lot of injuries in that game, so unfortunately, we're not able to get the point differential or even the win there. But they come out against the Wizards. If they can win this game by like a 30-point margin, that puts them at plus 15-ish on the differential, which puts them in a better place here. We'll see what they do with the rest of the season. I would like to see the Cavs have some success in the in-season tournament, just so they could play some postseason light games and not have that environment be a shock to them anymore, right? Like, just so we can just get through all of that. But a really solid game here. I'm going to start the conversation with this game by the two guys I thought set the tone physically for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this one. And that was Jarrett Allen and Jaylon Tyson. Both those guys were just perfect in how they played today. They were physical, they were pesky, they were high motor. You know, Jarrett Allen had 8 offensive rebounds, 14 total. He had more offensive rebounds in this game than defensive rebounds. You love to see stuff like that. You know, just the tone of being set from a rebounding standpoint. And I thought the last couple of games, the Cavs have been better at rebounding. I thought their guards did a really good job of rebounding. Not yesterday, but a couple nights earlier. Evan Mobley with 10 rebounds, 18 points. I thought Jarrett Allen, 16 points. He was really solid. Real powerful 16. Like, this is the Jarrett Allen that people see and get mad that we don't see in the playoffs too often. Because we know that he's capable of these things, but sometimes in the playoffs it doesn't really show up here. DeAndre Hunter was back today. He had a getting back game, right? 8 points in 21 minutes, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 for 9 from the floor. It was a perfectly fine performance for somebody coming back. Evan Mobley, I thought, was perfectly fine today. 7 for 6, 16 from the floor. Still finding his spots, still taking a lot of threes, but only took 4 threes today, so I'm not really going to complain about it too much. Missed a couple of free throws. I will complain about that, but was excellent defensively, was plus 21 on the floor. And 3 assists, a steal, a block, you know, really good stuff from Evan Mobley in this game. Donovan Mitchell was his usual fantastic self, 24 points on 8 of 21 shooting. I thought he was much better shooting. It must have been like in the second half that he just started lighting it up. Maybe he had one of those slow starts, but really high ends. Darius Garland, I thought, was great too. This was a classic Darius Garland game, and I think it's about time that we take notice of how much different the offense and I think at times defense looks when Darius Garland is out there, and just how important Darius Garland is to this basketball team. I think it is time that we stop denying that Darius Garland is important. And by the way, if you see me looking back and forth between here and the camera, it's because the Cavs are still technically playing, and I'm trying to see what the final point differential is going to be. Right now it's at 33 with 41 seconds left, and I think the Cavs are going to go to the free throw line off of Naquan Tomlin. You know, he got fouled on the way to a layup. They've been really aggressive up until the end. Again, I love that. But yeah, Darius Garland is super important to what the Cavs do offensively. And I think he's sneaky kind of important defensively because he's a really good director of communications on the floor, right? Like, he can just direct and maestro and yell and encourage other people to communicate, because a lot of what we saw early in the season with the shitty defense that the Cavs are putting out there was just a lack of communication. It feels like now the 2 games they've had Darius out there, it hasn't been amazing top world, all world defense, but it's been better. There's been less miscommunication. There's been less open threes in the corner. And oddly enough, it has nothing to do with Darius at this point, but better rebounding. And I think that might have to do with like the pieces being shifted in better place as guys get healthy. So Darius is just super important to this team. Offensively, you see the impact that he has. I mean, this team's completely different offensively when Darius Garland is out there. Oh my goodness, Naquan Tomlin with an incredible play off the break as the Cavs look like they're going to end this one up 37. Yeah, I don't think that the Wizards are going to take one more shot. And then we'll know the point differential. They can take a 3 here, and they make it. So the Cavs only win by 34. But that's going to do a lot to wipe out their NBA Cup. What they were minus 11 coming into this. So now they're plus 25, which is, I believe, the highest point differential in the tournament right now. So good stuff there. So what they're saying, plus 23? Plus 23 would tie them. Nope, still the highest. Still higher than Phoenix. So good. But yeah, Darius Garland's impact on this team, it can't be understated. We have seen what they look like without Darius. We know what they look like with Darius. I know it can be easy to get mad at a guy like Darius, but the reason you can get mad at him is because he's so important. The same thing's true with Jared Allen, right? When Jared Allen's putting a stinker or he's injured, who do you feel it on this team? So yeah, they're kind of the linchpins for anger from the fan base, both those guys, but they are that because they are that important, if that makes sense to you. Because it makes sense to me. So, you know, another piece of evidence here of how crucial Darius Garland is. And I think Darius Garland had his first classic Darius Garland game today. So you're really seeing a lot of good things from these young guys, right? I think Jaylon, Tyson, and Tyrese Proctor, what you saw out of him in this game, he was 5 of 6 from the floor, 5 of 6 from threes, 17 points, just sniping threes. Sam Merrill continues to be one of the hottest 3-point shooters in all of basketball. What was he today? 4 or 5 from the floor, just a casual 83% from 3-point today. You know, Jaylon Tyson's 3 is starting to come together, 2 of 3 from 3. And again, like, he's giving you stuff offensively. He's giving you good effort defensively. He's offering you some rebounding from the guard position, 4 rebounds today, 2 assists, a steal. He is turning into a really solid player, and I'm interested to see where he's going to end up on the lineup when a guy like Max Strus comes back as the Cavs get closer and closer to healthy. I believe Lonzo didn't play in this game, and somebody else didn't play in this game, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So, yeah, Sam Merrill, that looks like a really good signing that the Cavs made. They're giving them the contract. I know I had my questions about it when they did it, but seems like they knew what they were talking about there. Jaylon Tyson, it was rocky at first, but I mean, these minutes are really coming together. And I think that might just be the theme of the season for the Cavs, is that we just gotta, I think there's a term when in the culinary world, I don't know why I said it like that, made it sound fancy, but there's a term, you know, you can't watch the pot boil. You don't want to see the sausage be made, stuff like that. Because trying to get this dynamic right offensively, trying to get Evan Mobley's game to where it needs to be offensively is going to require a lot of ugliness that you're not going to be fond of watching, right? Like, I think there's an expectation amongst people that you're going to make these changes, get Jaylon Tyson to be a productive player for you, develop Evan Mobley completely offensively, and expect no ugliness while you're doing it. But that's not how this works, right? If you want to cook the sausage, well, then you got to see how the sausage is made. And oftentimes how the sausage is made is not going to be the most appealing healing thing in the world if you don't have the stomach for it. And yeah, there's some ugly shit when we watch Evan Mobley right now try to play offensive basketball, try to get his own shot and everything. And I know that some people get nervous, like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this anymore. No, you got to have the stomach for it, or else he's never going to develop. We saw the ugly shit with Jaylon Tyson out there. The stuff he was doing defensively, he just had to learn. And now he's plus 12, and he looks like a really productive player for you. So got to get through some of the ugly. And look, it's not just going to be linear. There are going to be moments where it looks like Jaylon's breaking through, and then his three-point shot gets cold, and he starts to look like shit again. And you just got to keep breaking through these moments, hoping that you get all of it to come together in the playoffs, right? The same thing's going to be true of Evan, right? There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where it looks complete, but it's not going to be complete yet. That's the name of the game. But today was one of those days where it all just kind of came together for you, right? You beat the shit out the Wizards. And again, they're the Wizards. They're 1-8. They stink. I get it. But still want to take care of business. And in an NBA Cup tournament where point differential is something you're being judged by, you want to win by as much as possible. So winning by 35, pretty good. Pretty good. So all that stuff there. Pretty happy with this one. Cavs go tomorrow in a non-NBA Cup game, I believe, to play the Chicago Bulls, which, hey, look, if you're going by last year's standards, you might not be aware, but the Chicago Bulls are playing some of the best basketball in the NBA right now. So that's a big game tomorrow. Both teams coming off a back-to-back, and I'm be excited to watch that one as well. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.